with the King and the Queen arriving, and royal watchers are gathering outside of Parliament House in anticipation of their arrival. Our royal reporter Julia Bradley has been speaking with the crowd. Julia, what's the atmosphere like there?
Well, Kieran, the atmosphere outside of Parliament House is largely positive. We've seen crowds of royal fans gather here, all in the hope of catching a glimpse of King Charles and Queen Camilla as they make their way here a little bit later on for an official engagement. A lot of people got here really early this morning. That's people who live locally, but also travelling in from interstate as well as from overseas. You can see a lot of people with flags, the Aussie flag there, people who've made their own signs as well, celebrating the King and the Queen's arrival. A lot of people with umbrellas as well. This is a really hot day in Canberra, so doing their best to shield themselves from the sun. It was really Sydney's turn yesterday when we saw members of the public having that opportunity to come out to meet the royal couple. Today, it's the ACT's turn, and we've already seen their majesties arrive here in Canberra. Their first stop, as we've been talking about, the Australian War Memorial. Here are some of the people I spoke with earlier.
Oh, everything. We love them, yes. And to see them in the flesh, that's just wonderful.
Well, they're a lovely couple. True love always wins.
Absolutely love them to bits. Watch the Crown, love everything about them.
Now, we saw members of the Australian Monarchists League out this morning as well, handing out flags to some of these royal fans, but also a representative from the largest Republic organisation in the United Kingdom, also here waving a big yellow flag that says "Not Our King." We spoke to them as well.
Well, I think if you don't get on with it, we're going to get there first, in which case we're going to have to send Charles over on a plane to live in Canberra. But I think the appetite will come back. I think there needs to be some serious campaigning going on. Most Australians, I think, are happy to switch to a republic. The deal's not been sealed with by the campaigners, but it can be.
So in Canberra now, making their way as we speak to the Australian War Memorial, and that is where the King will be invited to lay a wreath in the Hall of Memory. The Queen will lay a floral tribute. The Hall of Memory, which is set above the Pool of Reflection, is at the heart of that memorial, honouring Australians killed in battle. We know they'll then make their way to the For Our Country Memorial, which recognises the military service of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. It's at 1 o'clock when royal fans here will have the chance to catch a glimpse of them, and that is all as they make their way to Parliament House for a reception hosted by the Prime Minister. That is the event which has attracted quite the headlines, including from overseas, which state premiers and chief ministers have declined to attend. This afternoon, many events to keep them busy as well. A visit to the Royal Botanic Gardens, the King to discuss the impact of climate change, and also a visit to the CSIRO discussing the impact of bushfires. So that's really a picture of their Canberra tour today. Back in Sydney tomorrow with more opportunities for the public to meet them, including outside of the Opera House. They'll be taking part in a Royal Australian Navy Fleet Review, also a good old-fashioned Aussie barbecue in Western Sydney.
Julia, thank you for that. Appreciate it.